Welcome back everybody. We were not expecting to do this.
This is a bit of an unexpected cruise, guys.
It's just us being our spontaneous self. I don't think there's any other channel that'll get on YouTube that is as spontaneous as us. I don't know what it is. No, it's not that though. It's just
our luck, guys, really, because we
just thought I'd check the weather.
Yeah.
And
we're going to do a nice little trip next week on the Mon and Rex and hire a day boat. But there's only 2 days we can do it, Tuesday or Wednesday, and it's pouring down rain.
Monday.
So
yeah, it's pouring down rain, and a big area low pressure is coming in next week. And not just that, but there's this area low pressure coming up this weekend from the south. That one's from the east, the one in the week. So not only are we getting a big area low pressure next week, we're getting a lot of rain on the weekend as well, Saturday and Sunday. And God knows,
we're a little bit concerned. We might get stuck on here. And it's only 19 miles long. We really don't want to be stuck on here for the winter.
No.
Josh?
We're just a bit overly cautious now after what happened in the spring with snapping the tiller off. And
we're not going on the 7 unless it's green.
Yeah. So having to wait for weeks and weeks and weeks on end for the weather to get good. And I just don't think it is. I think this could possibly be the last day of summer, guys. I know technically summer is over.
It's absolutely beautiful. It's lovely.
But
it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah. After this, I think the weather's going to turn really bad, and it's going to go rain and 15 degrees.
Yeah.
It's just not going to be very nice at all. And
we rang your dad I said, what do you think?
Third opinion.
And he said, oh well, you get all the storms and things in October. By the time we get back from Amy's, it's going to be October.
Yeah, because that's the thing. We're not staying on here for like a week or so. We've got to stay on here for like 10 or so days to the beginning of October, because Mum and Dad asked me, oh, when can we book the car in? This is the trouble. Okay, I'll look at my calendar. Yeah, you can book it in, because that's when we're going to be down Gloucester and Sharpness, so we're going to go back down to Ilfracombe. But because things have moved faster, and
we've got here a bit early, Josh, really, haven't we? It's George, Luke, Libby and Eden aren't coming on till
that's also happening.
Week Sunday, are they? So
so we have a week to kill on here, nothing to do. Well, I was going to do some walks, and I was going to take a walk and see the Stroud navigation, which is going to go past today. I was going to walk all the way up to Sabberton Tunnel, which I'm quite sad I'm not going to be able to do, but I just can't risk it. We're just, like I say, we're just overly cautious. We're probably nothing to worry about, but we're just not going to take the risk. If it wasn't the Taylors,
there'd be nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
But we're the Taylors, and you know what luck we get. So
we're not going to take the risk. We cruised a little bit this morning, down to a quiet spot because the pile drive was getting on our nerves. And then I had a little walk, 5-mile walk this morning, and went and saw the 7, which was high tide again, and very high. Then I looked at the old Stroud Water navigation, which was very interesting to see.
We have done a bit of it on the dinghy, haven't we?
Yeah. So we're going to explore that. We're going to do the Mont and Breck, but the weather it's going to turn terrible again. This year just seems to be very bad weather. Very bad weather. Never seen a year with such bad weather this year. Yes, it's nice now, but we've only had a couple of nice days. So what we're doing now is we're going to cruise to the end of the canal, 9 miles, to Sharpness. We're going to stay there for the night, and then tomorrow we're going to be cruise 16 miles back to Gloucester. I won't film that.
No, and you can do the boat then as well, can't you?
Yeah, because I don't have any space left, guys.
Well, and you've just done it anyway.
Yeah, I don't have any space whatsoever left on my SD cards or hard drives. The gates, the bridges, shut at 6 o'clock. So we should be alright. It's 3 o'clock, we've got 3 hours, we're cruising at 6 miles per hour. Well, at the moment.
We're going 5 at the moment.
Yeah. So we can't cruise at 6. Anyway, let's go and see the end already.
We're approaching Seoul Junction now, which is where the Stroud Water navigation begins. There was quite a few woolen and weaving towns up the Frome Valley, where the River Frome ran down from the Cotswolds and into the Severn. So calls were made to make the Frome navigable from the River Severn and up into Stroud Water. But this would have taken away too much water from the mills. About 60 years later, in 1779, the Stroud Water navigation opened. Now this was a canal and didn't use the river, so there wasn't an issue of taking water from the mills. 10 years later, it was joined up to the Thames via the Thames and Severn Canal, which unfortunately now is abandoned and is a vital missing asset, which is why there's so much restoration going on to restore that canal. But then came along the Gloucester and Sharpness Canal in 1827. And at the time, it was the deepest and broadest canal in the world. But the Stroud Water navigation was in the way, and this is where Seoul Junction comes into play. So they had to cut across the Stroud Water navigation here, making it the only place in the country where there is an intersection between two independent canals. The only other place I've seen this is with the loops between the old and the new main line on the BCN. The Stroud Water navigation would have carried on down here towards the Severn. There is some pretty cool houseboats down here. Wow, that is quite a bit to read on passing by. There's two really close swing bridges here together, and in between is a pump house station. So I don't know how you go about saying, oh sorry, I don't actually want to come through, oh swung the bloody bridge now, because you want to get a pump out, I don't know. So close to the Severn estuary now. What a unique and beautiful sight. Never seen anything like this on the canals before. It's a shame we got to spend so little bloody time down here thanks to the weather again. This abandoned old structure here is part of the Severn Railway Bridge, built in the 1870s. This bit we're going under now is the remains of the old swing bridge. More on the tragic history and story of this bridge later. We're going to turn around here. This is where it splits into two different arms. One is the original arm that went out to the sea, which is now defunct but uses private moorings, and the other one is still somewhat commercial and has a lock down there which you can take and go down the channel to Bristol and in onto the K&A if you really want to, and I kind of do want to do that one day, but I don't know how to go about doing it. I just know that you need a pilot, you need your fuel cleansed, and it's a bit more difficult than the wash, but I'll be up for it. For more than 50 years before the Severn Railway Bridge was opened, there had been discussions on various proposals for rail routes to cross the Severn downstream of Gloucester, either by bridge or tunnel, but most of them didn't leave the drawing board with the exception of one, which began all the way back in 1810. This had been excavated partway under the river when water broke in, and the tunnellers were lucky to escape with their lives. The damage was irreparable, and the project abandoned. But finally, in 1872, the Severn Bridge Railway was approved. Its main purpose was to transport coal from the Forest of Dean on the other side of the Severn, and it would make a big shortcut as trains had to go all the way to Gloucester to cross the river, and come all the way back down here. Thanks to the strong tidal bore of the Severn, it made construction very, very difficult. As the bedrock was so much lower than the sands, a primitive piling device was used. The main contractor was Hammerleston's Windsor Ironworks of Liverpool, and once it was finished, it carried a single-track railway line and cut approximately 13 miles off of the journey. The bridge predated the Severn Tunnel, which was about 14 miles downstream, by 7 years. The traffic though was not as expected, and the company actually ran into financial difficulties early on, and then 7 years later of course the Severn Tunnel opened up, and by 1890 it faced bankruptcy and was taken over by Great Western Railway. But over the years there was a lot of incidents at this bridge, the first one being the Troll Brothers, which was lost after a collision with one of the piers in 1879. In 1938, a tug and two barges got into difficulty and capsized and were pushed broadside into the bridge. There were several fatalities to that. A lot of planes would do stunts with this bridge as well. In 1943, a Spitfire flew underneath the bridge. Later on, a woman on board called Anne Wood repeated this, and it was high tide. She only had 30 feet of headroom, but she managed to squeeze through a much larger bomber managed to fly underneath it too. And until the Severn Road Bridge was opened in 1966, this bridge was referred to simply as the Severn Bridge, but no more, as there was a new bridge further downstream. Now, although it was a very good asset to have, and it was a massive shortcut for trains coming from South Wales to London, there's a big problem. It was single-tracked, and it wasn't strong enough for heavier trains too. Plans were made to improve the bridge and make it wider, but on the 25th of October 1960, there was a thick fog and a strong tide. 2 barges went up the river, and they overshot Sharpness Dock and collided with one of the columns of the bridge after being carried upstream. 2 bridge spans then collapsed into the river. As they fell, parts of the structure actually landed on the barges, and they were carrying petroleum, and they then caught fire. 5 people died in the incident. Local people favoured repairing the bridge as it was an important community link. The underwater survey in December 1961 found extensive damage to Pier 16. Rebuilding costs would estimate 312,000 or 8.8 million, as against dismantling costs of 250,000, 7 million. So they decided to dismantle it. What an absolute stupid thing to do. Why would they dismantle it? Oh my god, what a shame. That would be a listed structure today. Thankfully it's low tide so we can see what remains today, but what a shame that this bridge is not here today, as I think it would have been a very useful asset. Even if it wasn't a railway bridge, they could have converted it to a road or a cycleway or walkway or anything like that. What's crazy is we can still see the very remains of the boats that caused its collapse. What an interesting story.
Right, we've made it to Sharpness.
Yeah, we made it to the end.
End of the Gloucester and Sharpness Canal. It's another one ticked off the list.
Yeah, another one done. River Avon done.
Yeah.
Good, we'll be running out of canals and
I've got
rivers to do.
Finish the 7, and then that's practically the Midlands done, except for the area wash and.
But this is, I'll call this the south. The south.
Yeah, I suppose.
This is the south, isn't it?
We haven't actually done from Bristol to Trowbridge, or vice versa. Which, why don't you do that? Why don't you go to sea and do it, guys? Well, you need a pilot, you need to have your fuel cleansed and cleaned. You need a lot of things, and it's a little bit more complicated than the wash.
Yeah, a lot
and
more
a
complicated.
bit more dangerous.
And a lot more expensive because you've got to stay at Portishead, haven't you, Josh?
Yeah,
I
think
think you've got to stay
so.
at Portishead.
You have to do it on 2 tides because it takes that long, you can't do it on 1 tide.
Yeah.
But we would have done it if Jack and Jeff were here.
Yeah, Jackie and Jeff.
Jack and Jeff, why do I never
Sorry guys,
say
always
the
say
names
Jeffy.
together. Just
Sorry,
doesn't
Jeff.
work in my head. I didn't say Jeffy, but I just said Jack instead of Jackie.
I know, but we always. Sorry, he knows us very well. He's our old neighbour, and he watches all the time.
If they were
on
here,
YouTube.
yeah, we'd happily do it. And I did say to them, why don't you ask them to come pilot our boat over? But
yeah, so
then we'd have the problem of being not stuck on the K&A for the winter.
yeah, we're not over keen on the K&A, as you know, guys. But
I would love to have finished the K&A, and kind of regret not doing it. And because we were stuck for 2 weeks at Cobbler's Lock anyway, we could have done the rest in 2 weeks if we knew.
We got stuck there anyway, so we probably could have done it.
Hope you enjoyed the drone
Yeah.
footage. Because I've just realised the boat graveyard is right down there at Purton.
Oh.
I thought it was down there, but it's up there, so
Oh,
I'll fly
okay.
the drone. And yeah, some really nice history around here. I think that was the terminus where we turned around, because you can go down into there, but sorry, we can go down into there. I got to remember to. I'm getting Bluetooth microphone, clip-on microphones. I just got to remember to stop turning my head when I talk.
Yeah, because we had a lot of complaints about it, but it is getting sorted.
Yeah.
But that's the docks in there, I think, Josh, isn't it? Into there.
Yeah, that's the docks. But there's a big old
Massive
commercial
boat,
ship.
isn't
You
there?
get boats from the Mediterranean, all sorts coming there
Yeah.
to drop stuff off. So you don't really want to go in there, and I don't think you can.
No.
Unless you have permission. I think there was 2 arms. I think that's the way you go out into the sea. But it used to be that one where the private moorings are. I don't think you can go down there either. I don't think that's owned by the CRT. But yeah, that is it. And
I don't expect Josh will be filming on the way back because not, because we've just done it. So
no space as well.
no space.
And yeah, that's it. Hope you all enjoyed.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe. And I'll see you back at Gloucester.
See you later. Ba-da-ba-ba